So the next preview, this potentially, coming into the tournament, these are the favorites. Brazil were what is it
Yeah,
called? The
the
clear
favorite,
favorites. They were
the
the
clear
clear
favorite.
favorites. In the betting coming into the tournament, Brazil, that was them. They had such high expectations. It was pretty much win the World Cup or bust. Let's be honest. This Brazil team, everyone, the fans, they expect to win this World Cup. Do I believe that? Obviously, we said that in our predictions. Go back and watch that if you haven't seen it. But so Brazil, they're going to play South Korea. It's not going to be an easy game. I'll go ahead and pass this one off to you. What do you expect for this game against South Korea for Brazil?
I had this one being very close. I mean, South Korea had played very well, and it's surprising because Heung-min Son has not been playing that well either. He's been on poor form for Tottenham, and it's been a down year. I mean, after coming off a historic season by his standards, it's hard to follow that one up with another outstanding one. But this that just shows the quality of the South Korean side. I mean, they're just so well rounded in most facets of the game. I mean, they're well coached, they're well set up defensively. I think they're going to give Brazil a real hard time. And I have this one. I got this one 2-1. 2-1 for Brazil. And I think it's going to come down to because it's going to probably start off with Brazil scoring one, South Korea getting a tying goal before half, and then it starts off that second half with Brazil getting the lead back again and holding it. Because I mean, this Brazil team still has a very good foundation. I mean, Casemiro's been playing well. They still have Allison. They have Vinny. Hopefully, they get Neymar back, and they still have very. I mean, they're through Brazil. I mean, this is what they were picked to be the favorites, and it's just the quality is going to be too much for South Korea. It's going to be close. South Korea is going to they're going to have a. This is something that not to be disappointed of. I mean, you'd be losing to the favorites of this entire tournament.
Yeah.
So, I mean, not really much you can look down upon. So, I got Brazil getting by 2-1.
Obviously, coming into the match, in my predictions, I said that Brazil would be able to get past, South Korea. But I think South Korea are going to be very, very difficult to break down. And that's so far from all of the Brazil games I've seen. They've struggled to break down teams, and it's kind of head scratching in a way because you look at how dynamic this attack is. You would think that they would be able to break down teams potentially better than any other team in the World Cup because of how strong this attack is. Obviously, they haven't had Neymar except for the Serbia game, but if you want to just use the Serbia game because that's the only game they've had Neymar, it took them till the 60th minute to get that goal. And it was through Richarlison, and it was pretty much like a tap in, and then he was able to score the worldy, potentially goal of the tournament.
Yeah.
But they have not quite fired the way that I expected them to. It took a Casemiro screamer, to get the win in the second match, and then obviously, Cameroon, even though it was the B team, they were able to beat them. So this
That
Brazil
that that
team,
that B team was very good. I
oh
mean,
yeah, no, of course, that's yeah, no, but it kind of shows the quality of Brazil that that's their B
yeah.
team, but that was still a very quality team, and that's kind of shows that their depth. And let's just say Neymar isn't able to go, Martinelli is gonna have to step in. And Martinelli, he had a good game, but he lacked finishing, and that's my main thing with Brazil. They've created a lot of chances, but they have not been very good at finishing them so far. And I think that kind of bodes well in South Korea's favor because the blueprint to succeed against Brazil is there now. We've seen it used in this World Cup. You're going to have to play very defensive, and you're going to just have to hope Brazil, aren't clinical on the day, and they have not shown the ability to be super clinical. And I expect it to kind of continue in this game. But with that being said, I don't know if South Korea is going to be able to create enough chances to win the game. I think that they can hold Brazil. They might be able to, hold Brazil to maybe even one goal. But are they going to be able to score a goal and win the game or equalize against Brazil? That's where it's going to be tough. Obviously they have a world class player in Son, but then you look at the rest of this team. They're good players, but are they going to be able to string together enough possession and string together enough passes in the final third to break down a Brazilian defense that is very, very strong? In the center, I would say, because one main concern for Brazil coming into the tournament was their fullbacks. They are not quite on par with the rest of the squad. And coming into this match, Brazil Against Cameroon, Alex Tellez picked up a knock. He's injured, and I don't think he's going to
Hmm.
be able to play because it's like a calf strain. I don't know if he's going to be able to play against South Korea. Alexandro, the starter, he's been injured with a muscle injury as well. So I don't know who's playing left back for Brazil.
They're
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 missing most.
literally
They're
they're
missing both
literally
their left
going to
backs.
play Danny Alves. Danny Alves is going to play.
Yeah,
He's gonna play. He
but
played
the problem
today.
exactly. But the problem is, Dani Alves, he's not a left back anyway. But Dani Alves is going to have to play because Danilo, their right back, is also injured.
That's what. Yeah,
So,
that's what I was gonna say. I'm not
so
gonna play left
Danilo
back,
is
but he's gonna
injured.
play right back.
Danilo is injured at the right back, so Dani Alves is gonna have to step in. And if you watch the Cameroon game, look, Dani Alves,
Oh
arguably,
God.
arguably the greatest right back of all time, you could say. But this guy is not it anymore. He was getting absolutely cooked. Toko Akambi from
He's
Cameroon.
40 years
Kingdom.
old.
Toko Akambi was looking like prime Ronaldinho out there today. So that is a concern because I think it's going to be Son versus Dani Alves.
Oh my God.
That is going to be a concern.
That's not
That
good.
is South Korea's hope because their best player happens to play left wing, and Dani Alves is going to be guarding Heung-min Son, who hasn't had an amazing World Cup, but he's on his day he can beat anybody. On his day he can do it. He's one of the best wingers in the world on his day. You just
Yeah,
have to
I mean, just look at last season. How he played last season.
I think he won the Golden Boot in the Premier League.
Yeah, I think he tied it, I
Tied.
believe.
He tied for it. Exactly. So, on his day, he's a world beater. So South Korea, they have a chance in this game, because of the injuries, because Neymar might not be 100% fit, because Brazil has been firing at the attacking end of the field like I expected them to. This is not going to be an easy game. And, all that considered, I still have to back Brazil just because I think that their quality, even though they haven't been firing, and I don't think they're going to fire, they're not just going to all of a sudden step onto the field and bang in 5 goals. I don't see that happening. It's going to be very, very close. I expect them to win this game 2-1. I think it's going to be very tight. And, I think Son does get his goal, because of the fact he's going against Dani Alves.
Dani Alves.
And I don't know who's playing left back for Brazil, genuinely. I don't. Both of their left backs are hurt. I don't know who's playing left back.
Yeah, they might just shove Militao there. I mean, out of position. I really don't know what they're gonna do.
And that's
would they play a 3 in the back? Would they do that? I don't know.
Tite has his work.
I would consider it. At this point, I would
consider
consider yeah.
But I don't know if they've ever really worked on that. I don't know if they're, obviously they still have world-class players, but tactics are very important, especially you don't want to maybe go into a winner-take-all game against South Korea, who are, look, one of the things I'll say about South Korea is that they have chemistry together. They are so strong as a unit. If Brazil come out and they play a new formation because they have to because of the injuries, that to me, that seems like advantage South Korea. Because they're going to be playing same old South Korean style football, 4-2-3-1, like they've been playing the whole tournament. And they know what they're doing. They know what they're good at, and they're going to stick to their guns. I don't know if I can say the same about Brazil because they're going to be swapping in, rotational players. They got injuries. They're playing a new formation. All of these things make me think that an upset might be on the cards here. I would love to predict it. Part of me wants to because I'm kind of talking myself into it the more that I say it. But I still, given the quality that's going to be on the pitch, and I'm going to assume Neymar is going to be able to play the full 90, this game could end up going to extra time. It's going to be very, very tight. But like I said, Brazil 2-1, just because, the quality that they're still going to have on the field. They still have some injuries, but look at this squad. Look how good it is. The midfield, the attack, the defense, it's very strong. They have to find a way to win this game at the end of the day. Look, South Korea, they're a very solid team, but if Brazil go out to South Korea, it's not going to be good for them. It'd be a failure. It'd be a failure.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's Brazil.
So, it's not like you, I like the kind of percentage chance thing you were doing earlier. If I had to put a percentage chance, I'm going to say 75-25, but I think, 25%,
75%. I mean, that's pretty big chunk for Brazil.
Well, because at the end of the day, they're the favorites. They're Brazil, but this could very easily, look, if like I said, if all of the things that I was saying weren't in place, it's probably kind of like a 90-10. Like it's kind of a clear cut and dry. But because Brazil aren't going to be firing quite the way they want to, they got injuries. I give South Korea a 25 to 30% chance of winning this game, and that's a pretty hefty chunk. It's football. Anything can happen.